Alright everyone, I found us our first game to cast for today. It's going to be Evil Empire going up against RRG. This is actually a round of 512. So both these teams got a bye through the first round. But you're going to recognize some of the names here. So I'll first off start by introducing. Once again, first of all, I should introduce myself. I'm Niz. Thanks for joining us with the cast today, as we're going to have a lot of Dota to cast, and I'm looking forward to it. But let's introduce the teams and the players, because they're the real ones that we should be interested in talking about. We've got Evil Empire on the Radiant side, playing their Spectre. Is going to be Yuan Wan? Wow, that's going to be complicated to say. But then we've got Tom. Well, we've got a DC on the dire side here, so we're going to get a pause, which will allow us to catch back up. But we've got Tom playing the Vengeful Spirit. We've seen him in chat from several times. He's always a big supporter of the stream. We've got Alien Mana Banana playing the Zeus. We got Zephyr playing the Ancient Apparition. And we've got Movin' Target, another player on my friends list. He's going to be playing the Clockwork. As for our dire side, looks like the Silencer has reconnected. We've got RRG. Not exactly sure what RRG stands for, but we've got Colin playing the Silencer for them. We've got Whoopee Cushion playing the Witch Doctor. We might have an engagement to start things off here. We've got Takeg playing the Tiny, and here we go. We're going to have Tom looking like he's going to be in a little bit of trouble here. He's going to get hit with the Avalanche and stunned up. Are we going to see a -2 to start things off here? Tom trying to run away. One more auto attack not going to come out. Bounty Rune will get picked up by the Wraith King, as it looks like everyone's going to escape here unharmed, although Tom will have to use his healing salve before the game, before the horn even blows. But let's finish introducing. We've got Takeg playing that Tiny, as we mentioned. We've got Ronald Namaste Reagan playing the Wraith King, and a guy with a Chinese name that unfortunately I'm not going to be able to say, so we'll just have to call him Lion. But as for our lanes, looks like we're going to have a defensive tri-lane here. We're going to have the Spectre, Vengeful Spirit, and Ancient Apparition going up against a duo offlane, a little bit on an unorthodox one, as we got a Tiny and a Witch Doctor here, as Tom doing a good job of harassing back that Witch Doctor. As for our mid lane, it's going to be a Zeus going up against a Silencer. Once again, not exactly the most standard matchup. He's got action in the bottom lane. Witch Doctor, he's gone too far. And looks like Tom caught him out with the Magic Missile, followed by just that right-click damage coming in from the AA, the Spectre, and of course, the Vengeful Spirit that led things off there. But there's our first blood going the way of Evil Empire. As for our top lane, we've got the Clockwork going up against the Wraith King and the Lion. Looked like Clock was in a little bit of a precarious situation there, but he looks to have turned things around, as now everyone will just kind of go back to last hitting in lane, as the Courier's going to be bringing out the Magic Stick for Silencer in the mid lane. Not 100% sure who they thought they were going up against there. It's pretty obvious that it's going to be the Zeus, judging by the heroes, but yeah, he did bring out that Magic Stick, so he will be able to get his HP and mana back up after Zeus is spamming his Arc Lightning to get those last hits in the laning phase early on. Zeus actually just picking up his bottles. So Alien Mana Banana doing a pretty good job so far. He's actually the leader in terms of last hits, sitting at 7-1. And as I say that, the Spectre catches back up and passes him. Going to see a battle here for the bottom rune, as Zephyr has the stronger position on Whoopee Cushion, but here comes Takeg, as the A will get the Bounty Rune, but he will also get stunned up by a cask by the Witch Doctor. But Tiny not going to be able to throw out a stun because he doesn't have enough mana. About 40 mana away from being able to Avalanche or Toss. Both cost 140. 140? 120. There we go. 120. Colin looks like he's taking a little bit of a beating, and it's going to get much worse. As Alien Mana Banana. Oh, I'm going to have so much fun saying that name. He bottles up an Arcane Rune on a Zeus. That is never going to be fun if you're laning up against that. Oh my. The Curse goes out there trying to drain a little bit of that mana from the Zeus, as he's going to look to dive past the tower, drops the Silencer down to 16 HP. He will be able to get another Arc Lightning off to finish him off. But Alien Mana Banana, although he got that kill and he got the XP and the gold for it, he will go down to the tower shortly after. Meanwhile, in the bottom lane, Tom and Zephyr pulling to this this new camp that we've seen in 686. As he's also trying to do a little bit of dewarding there. As they will get rid of that Observer Ward, and that will allow them to keep pulling, as that camp will reset. Although they're going to have to clear out these little guys here, these little axe throwers, whatever they're called. Hilled Trolls. We'll bounce around looking some of the other lanes. And this Wraith King looks to be struggling, sitting at 9-1 in terms of CS. Compare that to the Spectre, who's going up against a dual lane, but he's at 21-6, and somehow we're seeing another kill in the mid lane as Alien Mana Banana, Alien God, Frempo called him in chat. He gets another kill on the Silencer in the mid lane. So far, Evil Empire off to a great start here, finding 4 kills and just 4 minutes of this game. And now they're going to look to keep the momentum going as they're going to group up for the bottom rune. It's going to be a bounty rune for them. Zeus going to get the double damage in the top. So already having enough map control to control both runes. The Silencer has respawned, but can't TP on in just yet because this TP is still on cooldown. As those 2 supports that were just at bottom rune are going to wrap in behind the Tiny, stun him up, and there's no way to Kegs getting out of this one. 5th kill on the board for Evil Empire. As even though the Spectre's been involved in 3 kills so far, he's at 25-10 in the last hits. He's 10 CS ahead of anyone else in the game, and that other person is actually on his team. Moving target, going to get sheeped up here. Has Wraith King already stunned? He has. It's going to be up in 1 second, but moving target got back to the safety of his tower. If that stun was flying out in the air, he would have had to pop his mango and then cogs. But that wasn't the case. The Wraith King chose to back. Moving target will live to see another day. As he's done a pretty good job in the top lane, already almost level 6 on this Clockwork. As we compare that to these, it is a duo off lane, but still we compare it to the Tiny, who's just barely hit level 4, and the Witch Doctor hasn't even hit level 3 yet. So things have not been going well in terms of XP on the side of RRG. So really, I don't really think they've won any lanes. Obviously, you've got your safe lane. The Wraith King should be free farming, but you take a look at his CS, he's at 14 CS. The Clockwork actually has more than him at 18, so top lane's got to go the way of Evil Empire. Mid lane, obviously we've seen Alien Mana Banana already kill the Silencer twice, as Colin has disconnected twice from this game, so maybe he's dealing with a little bit of lag issues. But, oh wait, as it immediately gets unpaused and repaused again. But then you look at the CS, and Zeus only slightly ahead, only ahead by 2 CS, 18-3 versus 16-2. But you take a look at the levels, you got Zeus at 6.5 and Silencer only at 5.5. So obviously advantage going the way of Zeus, and I expect a little bit of the gold to be going the way of Zeus as well. And then of course the bottom lane, our top farmer is the Spectre, so you have to expect he's doing well. And of course the 2 supports down there have gotten a good start as well, being involved in a lot of kills. But we're going to see maybe if they can start putting a little bit of pressure on this Spectre. They bring him down to about half HP, but he will be okay as Tom going to wrap around in behind Colin in the mid lane. Above him is Zephyr. As, oh boy, we've got Colin's in a whole bunch of trouble here. Is he going to be able to get back to the safety of his tier 2? No, he's not. He's got his creep wave coming. But he will just stand and fight, as Tom doesn't actually have any support coming in from his 2 allies, as they were a little bit too far behind. But here they come, in behind Whoopee Cushion, who just TP'd in to try and save Colin. But he's going to be the first one who goes down as the cask bounces between the Zeus and the AA. Both will go down. Colin now almost gets the kill onto Tom, but Tom throws out that last right click and finishes it off. As we see a bunch of kills there exchanging, and it is a 2 for 3 and a little bit of gold going the way of Evil Empire as they come out ahead, almost 400 gold there. But now we've got the Clockwork up at level 6. He's already popped a mango for this play. He did have Zephyr TPing on in, so now it's gone from a 1v2 to a 2v2 as Namaste is in trouble. He will go down, still level 5, not having access to that reincarnation. As we typically see Wraith King players, once they hit 6, they'll actually hold that skill point. They won't skill it until they actually deem it necessary. And the reason for that is if you die on the Wraith King in a position where a respawn isn't really going to help you out, it's not going to help you get back to safety, there's no point putting your reincarnation on cooldown. So you just kind of hold that point, don't skill it, you then die, you respawn normally, and the enemy team then has to think twice before they try to gank you if you're in a little bit more of a safer position. If you're closer to your teammates and closer to your towers, then they may not actually go for a kill on you, because they know you've got that reincarnation.
Dire's middle tower
Oh, I missed a kill in the mid lane. Because that's where that Spectre was going, as he was jumping into the mid lane onto Colin. 10-3 now is this Spectre. He's sitting at 3-0-2. He's had absolute free farm, 46 and 21. My goodness. This is already looking quite favoring for Evil Empire. As I know it's still a little early, it's only 10-3, but we don't really expect our early rounds of the tournament to be the closest games. But you know, we can always sometimes stumble upon a really good game, as we've seen some great games on the channel recently. Moving targets, trying to look for a kill here onto the Lion. The Lion will rotate back around. So he was thinking about maybe going on Zephyr there, but now here comes moving target, trying to go in on Namaste once again. They know that he's still not level 6, but he will get back to his tower. Meanwhile, on the bottom lane, the Spectre, he's going crazy. He's running right at them. He's going to get tossed back as he's on very low HP, 140 HP. As he'll back away, as now Tom's trying to go in on the aggressive. He drops down to 120, but now he'll have to back away. Colin also dropping quite low in the mid lane. His Alien Mana Banana, he wants blood, he wants more. As he's going to try to dive past that tower, but he'll think twice and back away. Moving target it now. Has jumped on that Wraith King in the top lane. Still not level 6, and he'll go down again. Will the Clockwork be able to get on out? Switch the tower aggro. He doesn't. As moving target will go down to the tower. So it is a trade, the Clockwork for the Wraith King. But certainly they would they'll love that trade. As this Wraith King's... He hasn't been doing too great, but he's definitely doing the best on his team so far. Sitting at 25 and 3 CS. The off lane Tiny is sitting at 23 and 0. So almost matching the safe lane. That's how much pressure they've been able to put on this Wraith King. And most of it's just been the Clockwork by himself, but they might find a kill on a very valuable target as the Spectre gets low, but he will be able to dagger into the trees. As we've seen this Witch Doctor Tiny combo come close to getting some kills, but they just haven't had enough to finish them off. And now Colin going to go for that top rune.
Coin for me.
As he needs to be careful. Alien Mana Banana does have enough mana to go for this. He will have his ult up in 3 seconds, but just barely doesn't have enough mana to use it. I figured he was going to pop his Clarity there, but the problem was he got that Arcane Curse on him, and he wasn't able to break it off early enough. As Colin will actually pop the ultimate and silence them up, as the Alien Mana Banana needs to come back in and cast his Arc Lightning on Creeps here to wipe that curse off, but not going to do so. He's just going to stand there.
Dominating.
Meanwhile, the Spectre will haunt on in and finish off Colin, as Whoopee Cushion was rotating in behind, but here comes moving target. Hook shots on in. Will find a solo kill here on the Witch Doctor.
In my eyes.
As that actually leaves Tom, the Vengeful Spirit, the support that you expect to be the most aggressive, and certainly he has, up until this moment, been the most aggressive roaming around, but he's just enjoying a little bit of farm in the bottom lane, getting a few CS. He's only up at 5 and 1 right now. But even just his presence standing down there has forced the Tiny not back to his tier 1, but actually all the way back to his fountain, as he's going to head back and he's going to probably high-five the Witch Doctor as he walks past here. But nope, they're a little bit too far away. Or maybe not. Tiny's got pretty long arms, so maybe they could have reached there.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
So now we might see our first somewhat push for a tier 1 tower, as the Clock's sitting down here. Going to start pushing the wave, but here comes that Witch Doctor, and actually Lion rotating down. Tiny's going to be TP on in. Moving target's going to drop the cogs to burn some of that mana on the Tiny, and look at this. The Tiny is ending up with 0 mana, basically, not able to cast anything. They didn't need it because the finger bang came out from the Lion to finish off the Clockwork, so probably not the best trade, trading a little bit of mana, or your life for a little bit of mana off Tiny. But I don't think he expected to get completely caught out there. Of course, we had a little bit more knowledge that the Lion was there, as I don't think moving target knew that Lion had rotated down. But now Tom, he needs to be careful. Colin's here as well. Well, they're going to dive past the tower, but once again, this Tiny, still no mana. He needs mangoes. He needs something. He's picked up a Staff of Wizardry, but it's in his stash. That's not going to help his mana pool right now. As the cask will bounce through, will stun up Tom once, and they will get the right clicks out. -2. The 4 int has been stolen so far by the Silencer, as the Zeus ult will come through, burst down the Witch Doctor. Ancient Apparition will go down as well, as moving target's going to try to chase down to Keg, as he looks like he will be able to get the kill. Meanwhile, the Spectre haunted on in and got the kill on the Silencer up there. So double kill for the Spectre as he finishes off that Tiny. And once again, another fight going the way of Evil Empire. 2 for 3 again. But we see that gold constantly in favor of Evil Empire. And let's take a look at our net worth, see just how it's going so far in terms of the farm. Obviously, we've seen Spectre free farming in the bottom lane, also been involved in 8 kills now, 6-0 and 2. He's our leader in net worth. We know the Zeus was doing great in the mid lane. He's at 4,500 net worth. And then it's almost an even split between the Wraith King and the Clockwork. Only about 150, 200 gold separating the two of them. But that's an off-lane Clockwork, and that's the third richest hero on the side of the Radiant side versus the safe lane farming, the wealthiest hero on RRG. And now Lion's going to make a rotation up to the top lane. There isn't an observer ward scouting this, although the Dire side has one scouting out Tom's position here, so they do know observer ward was placed there. But now Tom's going to be in trouble as he gets hexed up and stunned. But Lion will just back away. Wraith King won't come on in as we miss a kill in the bottom lane as the Witch Doctor goes down. Looked like moving target. And of course the Spectre had something to do with that. Now 17-8. A Blast will start flying in to the mid lane, but Colin has completely back, so it's not going to catch him hiding in the trees. We will take a brief moment to take a look at our gold graph and see where we are. There's about 4,000 gold lead for Evil Empire, a little bit lower than I expected, considering we're 14 minutes in, 17-8, and how the laning phase went. It looked very, very one-sided to me, but I'm actually surprised to see that gold lead not actually bigger for Evil Empire. But unfortunately, we do have another pause here, and we'll quickly bring up our items and cycle through, see who's got what. As immediately we see, well, nothing on Spectre, but take a look at his gold, and he's sitting at 3,400. So he's getting very close to being able to afford that relic. Tom, struggling a little bit, only level 5, but that's primarily because he's been roaming around quite a bit. He's picked up an urn, he's got his brown boots. Then we've got Alien Mana Banana, picked up that new item, the Aether Lens, and of course he's got the new rune bottled up again because he's Zeus. And of course, Zeus gets the Arcane Rune all the time. That's just how it works out. Alk always gets the Bounty Runes, and Zeus always gets the Arcanes, and S4 always gets the Haste Runes. That's just Dota, guys. There's nothing special about it. But we'll keep moving on as we've got an already Hand of Midas picked up by this Ancient Apparition. He's almost level 8 as well, as he's actually foregone picking up boots. But why do you need him? Why do you need to move fast on an Ancient Apparition? All you need to do is land your Ice Blast from across the map, and you're good. As he's going to throw one here right now, and it's going to not pass over the Witch Doctor. It will pass over the Tiny, who may just very well shatter as the Flare came in from the Clockwork. They will be able to right-click down that Witch Doctor. The Urn comes onto the Tiny, who will toss the clock up in the air as moving target gets the kill there and immediately hook shots back to the catapult. We did miss, looks like an exchange of kills as the Silencer and the Zeus both went down in the mid lane.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
But this should give us a little bit of a break in the action to keep going over some of these items. As we've got Tranquil Boots and Blade Mail on the Clockwork, and that should round things out for Evil Empire. Let's move on to RRG. As Colin on the Silencer looks like he's building into a mech. Just needs a recipe to complete that, so about 900 gold as he's sitting at 9 right now. So a little bit of a ways to go before that's going to be completed, but he does have treads, so he's not as far behind as I would expect, considering the discrepancy in net worth between the two mid laners. As for the Witch Doctor, he's going to be struggling. He just got boots, magic wand, and wards, but he does have a smoke, so they may look to use that. Lion also has a smoke and tranquils, so he's going to be able to move around the map a little bit quicker. The safe lane farming Wraith King has already picked up an armlet, so he's ready to fight. I'd like to see a few more items on him, and he's not the best farming hero in the game, so you need to be able to fight. But I'm not sure if armlet right now is going to be the item that's going to allow them to fight. I think he may need to farm a little bit more. And now Tiny. He's got half of an Aghanim Scepter. He's going to look to get a little bit more gold as they stun up Zephyr here. Now he wishes he had maybe upgraded boots, but no, he just picked up the brown boots. As he's going to go down, his moving target jumps on in, gets a double cogs, and they get one, then count it 2, as both the Witch Doctor and the Silencer go down, but the Tiny tosses the Lion on top of the Vengeful Spirit, who then finger bangs Venge, and Tom goes down. But here comes Spectre. He's just jumped in, he's picked off the Lion, he looks for more, as he's going to chase down this rock past the tower, but thinks better of it, as here comes the Wraith King. Namaste, he's ready to fight, but he won't be able to chase that Spectre, he'll have to back away. But this has created a little bit of space now for Alien Mana Banana, who's just sitting up here in the top lane. He used his Thunder God's Wrath in that fight. But he's got no reason to come down now. There's no way that he was going to be able to get them another kill. So he'll just take the time to farm up in the top lane as Colin's going to TP up into that top lane after having just been hit by the Ice Blast. And now Alien Mana Banana may even be able to fight this as Colin drops down to 400 HP. But the Shatter is going to wear off here, the Ice Blast effect. Excuse me, so Colin won't be able to shatter. Now the Global Silence comes out as Alien Mana Banana. He's on the back foot. He's going to try to run here. We've got a TP coming in from the Witch Doctor. As he tries to turn around, but Colin gets very, very low. I'm not sure how low it was. I saw 9 HP, but I think it was even closer. Probably 6 or 7. As Alien Mana Banana not able to get it done, he will go down as the 12th kill comes on the board for RRG. As they're catching back up, I'd say. 23-12 now. It was looking a little bit more dire than that early on in the game. As now we've exited the laning phase, as it's looking like they're maybe getting a little bit more comfortable, maybe shaking off a little bit of the nerves of the fact that they're playing in a major qualifier. Still round 1. Actually, technically it's round 2 for them, but yeah, maybe just shaking off a little bit of the nerves and shaking off a little bit of the rust. And it's probably their first game of the day. Not sure if these teams have warmed up prior to this. As you can warm up, but if you go deep into the tournament, then you've been playing for several hours, and you're going to get tired and worn out here. Zephyr looks like he's going to get picked off, as there's going to be more int stolen. 10 int stolen now for the Silencer, but Spectre comes on in, finishes off that Witch Doctor. So it is a trade. Once again, it's more gold for the Spectre, who has finished his Radiance, as now they're going to try to go on the Wraith King. He does have Reincarnation this time, and it is level 2, so it won't be the longest cooldown, but still 160 seconds. But I don't see him getting out of this, as he's going to try to run back to the safety of his team. As Lion comes in, will be able to get a good stun off here. A little bit of a questionable blink. He could have got a 2-man stun there. But because of where he blinked, he only got a 1-man stun on just the Spectre, who ended up jumping up into the trees with the dagger. As we will lose the Vengeful Spirit as well. As it is looking like it is going to be a 2 for 2. But here comes the Spectre once again. He TP'd on out. Will he haunt on in? He will, but he's in the trees here, as there was a hero TPing on out. Ice Blast will fly in. As they will find a kill on the Witch Doctor. They do lose their Clockwork somewhere in there. As Tekeg will get caught here still. I thought he left there. I must have read that wrong, but Colin will go down. We will have a full team, full 5-man wipe, as that was a very complicated fight to watch. There was stuff happening all over the place. There was an Ice Blast that was flying. As I look down at the map, actually, I can draw here. As it was flying across the map here. And all the heroes, as we get to right around here, all the heroes, I can't draw on the actual map, because we're in Dota TV. All the heroes were in here, and they were moving through this little space here in the trees. And it looks like the Ice Blast is going to be huge. But then the AA TP'd to the tier 1 tower. So it kind of flew out from a different direction and a different timing. It was really, really awkward. But yeah, it just didn't quite work out for Evil Empire. Maybe I was seeing that wrong. Maybe it wasn't. It must have been a flare, actually, because if I saw it flying across the map, but then I saw it come out here from the A, that's not how AL works.
Top tower is under attack.
As it would have been, actually, yeah, it would have flown out slow if he went from here and then released it. Alright, yeah, it would have flown out from a different angle. I don't know what I was saying. But we do miss a kill in the mid lane, as we're talking about things that probably don't really matter that much, as Clockwork and Zeus managed to get a kill on that Wraith King. As Tekeg starts coming on in. Needs a little bit more gold, 150 gold before he's going to have his Aghanim Scepter, before he's going to be able to rip a tree out of the ground and start smacking people with it. Because maybe that's a moment where they're going to start being able to fight. I was really surprised when all of a sudden the Lion blinked on into the last fight, as I didn't expect him to have a blink this early into the game based on how their early laning phase went. But they've got the mech up on Silencer, they've got the global off cooldown. Maybe they will be able to fight here, as Colin's getting quite low, but here comes the Spectre haunting on in. We can't forget about the Spectre with that Radiance. As Colin, he's trying to run, move and target, hookshot it in, but won't be able to catch on up. As he'll get stunned up by Whoopee Cushion, as Whoopee Cushion's quite low, but there's the hookshot coming in from move and target. As he must have force-staffed himself in to start things off there, not hookshot. As Fingerbang's going to come out onto Spectre, who will try to TP out, but it's not going to complete the tower. And Wraith King managed to finish him off. Moving target, he's not done. Finishes off Whoopee Cushion. A swap on to Namaste will actually bring Tom into a different position, but I'm not sure if it's any safer. Moving target will go down as now Tom's going to juke and jive in the trees. He's going to have to try to TP out here. We do have another stun available on both these heroes. Is Tom actually going to place an observer ward to help him juke here? One of the nice benefits of being a support hero when you're juking and there is a ward spot, is he's going to use that to his advantage and TP out. It didn't look like any of these heroes were really looking for him too hard, as they figured he would have TP'd out long ago. But 33-19 now, as the Spectre still, I think, continues to be a huge issue for RRG to deal with. As Zephyr is going to get take a little bit of damage here.
Under attack.
As now he's going to try to TP on out. The Tiny will be able to kill him with one more swing of that log. And Zephyr does go down there. But now let's actually bring up our gold graph and see it's still trending in favor of Evil Empires. We're going to see a swap here on Namaste, as he's going to get pulled into an awkward situation. Now he's going to go down. He has picked up an Aghanim Scepter on the Wraith King, and now we're going to see the Wraith starting to fight. It will go down, and now Lion's going to go down as well as this Spectre. He's just too big. Look at that. They stunned him. They tossed him. They had a Death Ward hitting him the whole time, but still, it only went through 2/3 of his HP. Still another 400 to go. But still a little surprised that it's still very much trending in favor of Evil Empire. We're seeing that dip as the graph updates to more current events, and it's a little bit more in favor of RRG. But still, we're above 5,000 gold for Evil Empire. XP's above 7,500, so still very much in favor of Evil Empire, as they're looking pretty good for their first match of the day. I want to remind you guys that this is actually best of ones all the way into the semifinals. It's best of ones, and then we get to best of threes. But yeah, if you lose this, you're done. That's it.
Under attack.
Round 500, round of 512 we're in right now, and if you lose, that's it. You're gone.
Rock it on.
But this is one of two qualifiers. There is, well, there's of course 4 regions, and each region has 2 qualifiers. If moving target going to hookshot in, get a kill here onto Colin. As of course Spectre haunts in to get a kill. Of course he haunts in to take it from moving target. There's no way he would have had that solo, right? Kill steal. Kill steal. No, you want that extra gold in your Spectre anyways. Plus you want to make sure that there's no one else coming in. So you use those ultimates, you use the haunts, you use the Thunder God's Wrath. Use those kind of items to make sure that it's going to be a safe and easy kill. Yeah, there is 2 different qualifiers. So we'll have 2 days of qualifiers, today and tomorrow, for the first set of qualifiers. So we're going to have the first, not really half, but first set of games for the first qualifier, and then we'll finish that off tomorrow. And then the following day we start with the second qualifier, which if you're in this one and you get eliminated, you can sign up and go into the second one. But of course the team that qualifies, it has no reason to compete in the second one. As every region's going to have 2 teams make it through the qualifiers. I'm not 100% sure what's going on in the NA region. I know there was maybe a little bit of disagreement among some of the NA Dota personalities on whether or not some of the teams invited into the Americas qualifier should have been invited in, not because they lack skill or anything like that, but because they had maybe made some roster changes after the lock. So I'm not really sure what's happened as a result of that. I believe it was Grant who actually pointed it out. But I wasn't able to follow up and find out exactly what the result of that was.
Dire's bottom tower.
But if one of those teams does get eliminated or removed from automatically competing, then I imagine they will be playing in the qualifiers. And we may very well have more than 2 teams advance. But that remains to be seen, as Ice Blast going to fly in, but not going to catch anyone.
Do it with flair.
Moving targets has been constantly hunting the silencer, not giving Colin any space. We're seeing a lot of this. RRG really grouping up, really kind of sticking together, and that's because there's so much gank potential. A lot of it kind of hinges on moving target. But moving target, he just moves around the map. If he finds someone, he can hook shot in and then instantly, With a Haunt, Spectre's there. With just a press of the R, Alien Man of Banana is there participating. Well, I guess he's not there, but he's able to provide a bunch of damage with Thunder God's Wrath. Then Zephyr can throw in an Ice Blast. Tom is kind of the same thing as that clock on the Vengeful Spirit. He can swap anyone and then start anything. As we're going to see a huge fight here as it's actually Zephyr who gets caught out first. Tom will try to swap, but they will get the kill onto a couple heroes here as it's Tiny is going to go down. It's a little bit hard to tell because the Wraiths are there as we've got the Witch Doctor channeling his ult there as the Spectre going to try to run away as finally that Wraith does go down. As Wraith King now will go down, but he's now back up with the Wraith. As he will get another stun off onto moving target that was trying to get a kill there onto Colin, who's trying to use his Shadow Amulet to get away there, but quickly realizes that may not be the best idea going up against a Zeus. On top of that, he was close to a Sentry Ward, but not actually standing within it. But again, another fight in favor of Evil Empire. This time, a 3,000 gold swing is apostrophe. It's said in chat by Takeg. Obviously, that was a little bit of a mistype, I guess. But look at this. Alien Man of Banana is going to kill that catapult. Is he going to go for Rune? No, he's not. But even if he chose to, look what it's an Arcane Rune for Zeus, of course. I told you guys, this is just standard Dota. This is how it works. It's not rigged. Not rigged at all. Let's take a quick cycle through, see who's got what. We've almost got the Aghanim Scepter finished by Zephyr. So he's just under 300 gold from completing that. We've got the Spectre already picking up a Manta. What is he working on next? We won't know yet. Just kind of saving up here. What's been purchased on the Courier? It's a Reaver. So it's going to be a Heart for the Spectre. And an Aghanim Scepter bought in full for the Zeus. So that's where all his gold has been. Saw him just walking around with the Yules and the Aether Lens. That really didn't make too much sense. His movement target. He's found a kill on the Witch Doctor in the mid lane. But maybe he went a little bit deep for that one. As he's going to go down as well. And you don't really want to be trading kills like that when you're as far ahead as you are. Ice Blast going to fly in. It's going to hit the line. It's going to kill him.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
As he'll go down as soon as the Wraith wears off. So nice snipe there coming out from Zephyr. So I guess it's a 2-for-1. It did require a good play there. A good Ice Blast coming out from the AA, but they did get 2.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Yeah, you don't want to trade 1-for-1 when you've got a 12k lead. That generally results in a lot more gold going the way of the opposing team. And again, we've got another pause. We've had a lot of pauses this game, but it will give me time to drink real quick. That was nowhere near enough time to drink. Nowhere. But we're back. As that Aghanim Scepter gets completed by the AA. Let's take a look a little bit closer at RRG. What do they have?
Tower is under attack.
Obviously they're on the back foot here. We need to see some item pickups that are going to help them. We've got the Tiny picked up his Aghanims. That seemed to work out for them. But since then, hasn't really completed any items yet. He's almost completed picking up an AC. That's going to be a strong point for them. On top of that, the Wraith King, with that Aghanim Scepter, it's nice and it's going to help. I'm not a big fan of it in general, but maybe it's helped them a little bit in the last fights, but it still hasn't really turned the tides. Whereas this is actually a great start as they're kind of forcing the Spectre back. Unfortunately, they did use the Global Silence there. Maybe not. Maybe that wasn't the best trade. As Oh My Flare comes in and snipes the Witch Doctor, so he's going to go down. And look at this. They grouped up. They went for a gank here. They didn't get the kill. They didn't even drop Spectre down to half. And now they're losing a ton of heroes. They are going to get 1 kill on the Venge, but that's actually the Venge just trading himself for the Tiny. As now the Tiny will go down. The Yule Scepter getting used on the Zeus by himself, but he'll go down, so he's going to give them a mega kill streak. So in the end, it actually does work out for the Dire side, but now they're going to lose their mid laner, so maybe not.
Death in a can.
But still, a lot of that, if you actually break down what happened here, we had the Dire side going for a kill on the Spectre up here in the top lane. Spectre getting away, they use the Global Silence. That's not good for the Dire
Dire's
side.
middle tower
If
is
they
under
managed to
attack.
force out a haunt and maybe got
Dire's middle tower has fallen.
maybe they got a lot of damage in on the Spectre
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
and forced him maybe to go back. It's hard because he's got a heart now. So it's hard to even do that. If you can force him maybe to go back to Fountain after using Haunt, that's a great moment for you then to push and do something, because Spectre isn't going to be able to farm on the other side of the map like he normally does. It's one of the big advantages of having a Spectre. He can farm somewhere else on the map and not be a part of team fights until he's absolutely needed. And he presses R, he haunts on in, and suddenly he's there to fight. Whereas a hero like Gyrocopter, Anti-Mage, any of those kind of heroes, they've got to be there when the team is ready to fight. And oh, nice play there coming out. Great Mantis timing coming out from the Spectre there, making sure that he's not getting taunted back or tossed back. His moving target, he's in the back lines, he's found a target as he's going to bring down the line there with a little bit of house help from the Zeus. His Whoopee Cushion, Death Ward channeling, not sure who that was even going to be hitting. As here comes moving target again, that Aghanim Scepter on the Clockwork, allowing him to constantly jump in with those hook shots, and he's got 2 kills as they kill off the Tiny and the Silencer. His moving target will actually go down to the Wraiths and Wraith King. But now, Namaste is in some trouble here. He will respawn with that reincarnation, but they should be able to bring him down. But will he be able to kill off the Zeus? No, the stun comes out from Tom. As, oh, yeah, now you've got a Wraith to deal with. Dual Scepter. Tosses the Zeus up in the air, and now he lands in the trees. He will get stunned, but no, not enough crits coming out from the Wraith King, as Zeus is now trapped in the trees, as those trees actually respawned while they were in there. So oh, that was a little bit unfortunate, but they do have the vengeful spirit swap to get him back out.
Bottom tower has fallen.
As now the tier 2 goes down and more items keep coming out for the Spectre. Now a Diffusal Blade gets purchased. He just finished his heart. And now another item, the Diffusal Blade. Just more and more tools to deal with the heroes coming out from this Dire side. They still really haven't had a full 5-on-5 fight where I really like their initiation. It's been kind of sloppy. It's been them trying to force an engagement, and then immediately Evil Empire with that early lead just come in and just run over them. So, oh my goodness, look at this. They're trying to defend their racks, and Evil Empire's kind of backing, and then they just turn around and get a kill, and it's just the Zeus that does it. Now Colin, with his Shadow Blade, is going to try to run away. He's very, very low. 150 HP. Will we have the nuke? We will! Zeus! He knew where he was going to be, just nuked him down. There's no detection from any of these heroes, just ground targets with the Lightning Bolt there. Catches the Silencer. As finally, GG gets called, as Colin and RRG will tap out 20,000 gold. At least lead for Evil Empire as they take our first match of the night. XP over 25k as well. And that's going to be it for our first game. Great performance by Evil Empire. Great laning phase. Good luck in Frankfurt, says Whoopee Cushion. It's actually Shanghai, not Frankfurt. There we go, Shanghai. There we go. They got it right. Even if Whoopee Cushion then spelt it wrong, and it was corrected immediately after by the line. But RRG, they're not being BM. They recognize the fact that they definitely got outplayed there. They tap out, and Evil Empire will advance to our next round. I saw a question in chat there by Zerg saying, "Will you cast/recast the majors?" Solid casting. I like it. I will be casting as much as I possibly can today, tomorrow, and the day after, and the day after. Pretty much all the qualifiers for the Americas regions. I'm going to try to cast as much as I possibly can. But it's going to be a lot of casting, so we'll see if my voice can maybe handle it. But I am going to take a quick little break here before we find our next game. Once again, thanks everyone for joining us. As obviously we've got some fresh faces in here, so that's great to see. But like I said, I am going to take a quick break. So if you are going to go anywhere, please hit that follow button. Like I said, I will be casting a bunch of games, and I cast more than just the qualifiers as well. So I definitely would love if you guys could stop by again and check out the channel. But yeah, all the information is below the stream for my other channels, my Twitter. I upload all my VODs to YouTube. It's going to be a little bit weird uploading some of these games to YouTube, but I will try to get them up. It's probably going to take me a little bit longer than it normally does. But I will try to get them up as fast as I possibly can. But yeah, I'm going to take that much needed break, and we'll be back in just a few minutes to find another game and cast some more of the Americas qualifiers.